Welcome to another episode of Dating Chronicles. Today we're going to talk about Your Hurt is Hurting Me. You need to watch this episode. Stay tuned.
Listen, boy, even through the broken heart, the cheating and the lying, my love's still yours, and that's no lying. We were made to be together through adversity, so I felt the need to let you know that you're mine.
Dating is hard, and dating as a minister is even harder. Through 2 broken marriages, plenty of heartache and pain, my life felt like a Southern soul song. And I promise you, it's hard trying to figure out how to love again. I cried so many tears, and I couldn't figure out who I was. I really lost who I was. But I fought through all the pain, and I decided to give it another try. So I had to transform myself just so I could date again. But you know what? I'm learning my purpose. And I'm learning to love myself again. And I'm seeking to love again. So here's my dating chronicles.
Tell me why, babe, I lie like a Southern soul.
Okay, guys, have you ever been in a situation where you've loved people, you've given your all, you've done whatever you could, you've been the person who's been there all the time for people, and all of those things just to be hurt by some of those same people? Yeah, we've all been there. It is a process of life. It's sad to say, but it's a process. And it happens in dating. It happens in relationships where you might have given your all to that person you were dating, the person you were in a relationship with, and you felt like everything was always one-sided. You were always doing, you were the person that was always giving, and whatever it was, just to turn around for them to hurt you, for them to cheat, or for them to abuse you physically or mentally, or to act like everything you've done was nothing to them. But one thing I've learned is you never ever know when a person is going through something. And that's why I said earlier on in Dating Chronicles that you have to know first what is hurting you, what has hurt you. You have to know your triggers, you have to know your situations, you have to know the things that are causing you to cause pain to others, or basically to yourself. Because when you're causing pain to others, it's because you want to cause pain to yourself. I think you caught that. When you want to cause pain to others, or when you're causing pain to others, it's because you want to cause pain to yourself. A lot of time people, when they hurt others, it's because they don't believe they deserve what they're getting. They don't believe that they are worth the love that you're giving. They don't trust that the love that you're giving is true or genuine. They just think that it's a motive. And I mean, honestly, everything does have a motive. If you want to be with someone, that's a motive, because you want to be with them. But that's a good motive. If you have the motive to want to just be in a person's life, that's a motive. But it might be because that person is a good person. So yeah, every situation has a motive, but you can't look at life as being a motive. So one thing you have to realize is the hurting yourself could be hurting others. And you have to recognize that in people. Like, you know, if you're that person who's constantly giving, constantly doing, you have to pray for that discerning spirit. Oh my God, you have to. And I was doing the Jabez prayer. I was like, God, my territories, my businesses, my ministry, all of this stuff. And I did not pray for discernment because you don't know. The devil is slick. Like me, the thing that will tear me apart is love. And it doesn't have to be the relationship. It's just me loving people. If I'm loving on you as a friend, a business partner, or in a relationship, and then you turn around and you try to destroy me, it hurts me to pieces. It's like a piece of me is gone. It's like I'm broken. And sometimes I get so caught up into my feelings where I feel like I can't get out of it. And I've gone through that so much that I didn't realize that it was destroying me on the inside a lot more than I realized. It was hurting me to the point where when I was able to get someone in my life who was what I prayed for, I hurt them. I hurt them. So, I mean, I know they're tired of me apologizing, but I'm sorry again. Boy, you know I love you. Anyway. Don't y'all let me know, attention, because it is a silly side of me that a lot of you have not seen. And this is probably as close as a lot of you gonna get, because I'm praying for that discerning spirit, which means you are not going to get close to me again. Not too many people are gonna get close to me. And if I see that spirit in you that is definitely wrong, you might not get a phone call. But I'll be praying for you. I'll be thinking about you. But no. And I think one thing we have to learn is it's okay to distance yourself from people. And I think Christianity has people in a box or a jail or chained up. Like we have chained ourselves thinking that just because a person has hurt me, I have to forgive them, which you do. You have to forgive them, not just for yourself, but because God says so. And also it helps heal you. But you have to forgive them, and then you have to give them another chance to be in your life, or you have to help them heal. No, boo-boo, you don't. You don't. There are some demons and some spirits and people that you just cannot conquer, that you just cannot be around. I don't care if you feel like you Jesus himself. There are some spirits that you just cannot conquer because you're not Jesus for real. You cannot keep allowing people to hurt you, or you can't allow yourself, because you know when you're hurting people. You know it. Like there is a person that I know. They know they hurt me. And they went and apologized to everyone else that they know. Because they knew that their behavior was wrong. But they still have not apologized to me. Do I care? In a way. But then I know that that spirit that's in them is just still there. See, we fail to realize that when people are hurt, it's either because they've been hurt or because they're masking a demonic spirit that you can't see. But once you recognize, when you start asking God for discerning spirits, you start recognizing those spirits are in people. You start recognizing that those spirits might have been in you at one point in time. But you have people who will sit here and fake holier than thou. They will fake positivity. They will fake I love you. They will fake this and turn around and talk about you in chat rooms with people like the people you are not chatting with are not going to tell the person that you're chatting about, because they know that the person is genuine. Or they'll sit around and get on the phone and talk about you to people. Like, people that you're not on the phone with are not going to tell those people. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. If you are a person trying to hurt somebody, you think the people that you're not telling are not going to tell the person you're telling? It's a cycle. It's what the devil wants you to do. It's what the devil needs you to do, to destroy your life and to destroy that person's life. I mean, it's not worth it. And I'm to the point where I'm like, God, I need you to heal these people, but keep these people away from me. Because at the same time, I ain't all the way right. I still got that Peter spirit in me. I be want to act like Peter. Y'all ever seen, if you have not read the Bible, let me explain to you. Peter, first of all, let me explain to you. Everybody that Jesus hung around was gangster. They were not all holier than thou. They were not the greatest person in the world. They were gangsters before they started following God, pretty much gangsters back in the day. And Peter was a gangster. And Peter cut off the man's ear. Jesus had to put the ear back on. I still got that Peter spirit in me that wants to cut you off. That wants to hurt you because you hurt me. I got that spirit in me that will cut you like a knife. Like I could destroy you for hurting me. And I don't want to be that person. I'm going to therapy to make sure I'm not that person, because the thing about it is God has given me a great mind that I don't always show people. And the mindset I have is, even when I'm working on one thing, and sometimes I'm working on 3 things, I'm also thinking, what could I possibly do? And when you have a mind like that, you might not be physically idle, but your mind is idle to the point where you're thinking of things you could do that you're not supposed to be doing. That's when you could hurt someone. So that's the hurt in you that could hurt me, or the hurt in you that could hurt someone else. You have to get that fixed. There is nothing wrong with going to therapy. Nothing. You can lose out on having the best friendships, the best business partnerships, and you can lose out on the love that you've been asking God for, because you won't allow yourself to be healed. I don't want the hurting me to hurt you. If the hurting me that's really in me, the things that I went through and things that people will never know about, if that hurt was to come out of me, it'll be moved. So I think God kept me from realizing a lot of stuff that happened to me until I was strong enough to deal with it. And now I'm able to process it, and I'm able to use it to help others. See, sometimes you're allowed to go through things because you put yourself there, first of all. Sometimes you put yourself there. But even if you have a great destiny or purpose, think about it. If I'm your enemy and we are in a war together, and I know before you're born what you're going to be and what you're going to do, the best thing for me to do is to start attacking you at birth. If I start attacking you at birth, by the time you get to be the adult who is realizing your purpose, who is realizing the people around you that could help you, then if I could hurt you when you get to that point, you're going to destroy yourself. You're going to blame God and the world on everything that happened to you from birth until now, instead of realizing it was the devil who knew what was going on in your life, who knew your greatness, who knew what you could be, and said, I'm going to destroy this person from birth until it's time to see if I can make sure they don't become the person they're supposed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you have hurt. I know you have pain. But if you've gone through so much in your life, sit down and pray and talk to God and ask him to show you why have you been attacked so much in your life, because it's a purpose in you. But right now you letting that demonic spirit that's been destroying you, you're allowing it to use you to destroy someone else, which is the goal. And I've been the person who people cling to me that are like that. Maybe because I have this loving spirit, because I see that they have hurt and I see that they have pain and I want to help them. And in the same token, I have hurt and pain, but for some reason I want to help others who have what I have. But in dating, you can't. In dating is different. Because dating can lead to your husband and your wife, and dating can lead to soul ties, and dating can lead to people that attach themselves to you forever. So you can't play with your life like that. You can't play with your future like that. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all are having kids by people who you know is wrong for you. And then when your child comes to this earth acting crazy, how you gonna you can't be mad with that baby. You the one who sat there and was with someone who you know wasn't right in the mind. They were not ready to have a child. And that spirit transferred over to your child. So now you got to be strong enough to make sure that you love your child out of whatever's in them. Don't let your hurt, your past, your situations hurt you. Go back, I think it was like the first or second episode of Dating Chronicles, where I said to sit down and write that list. Sit down and make a list. I mean, seriously, just sit there. Even if it takes you a couple times, like if you're writing this and you can't take it, okay, stop writing and go back. Finish that list. Write that list of what happened to you. Even if it starts hurting, keep writing. Even if the tears are flowing, keep writing. Even if you want to just explode and yell and scream, keep writing, yell and scream and write. Yell and scream and write. Cry. Do what you got to do. Go run, jog, whatever. Come back and finish that list. That list that I told you to make is the most important list you will ever make in your life. The most important list you will ever make in your life. Because if you haven't made that list, make it. And when you get finished making it, I need you to pray over it. And I need you to ask God to remove all of those demonic spirits, all those soul ties, all those situations from your spirit, to where you can breathe, you can live, you can move, you can love again, you can move again, you can do whatever, you can be open-minded, you can step out on faith, you can trust God, because right now you're not even trusting God. The person who created you, you're not even trusting him to trust him enough to know that he knows what your life is supposed to be like. And if you can't trust God enough to know what your life is supposed to be like, how can you be in a relationship with another person? Because you can't even trust the Creator who created you to give you the life that he has for you. So you can't love another person. Right now, you're probably thinking, I want to hurt God. I've heard people say that. Like, why don't even tell me about God? A lot of people don't even want to believe in him because of the hurt they've gone through. So how can you love someone else? How can you be friends with someone else and you still got hate in you from things that happened to you? You can't mask that. Eventually it starts pouring out and pours over. Eventually you do start hurting the people that love you for no reason, because you don't even trust the Creator that created you to have your life to where it needs to be. He knows your destiny. He knows your purpose. And you don't even trust him to follow him and obey him so that you can get to that purpose in your life. So how can you love someone else? How can you love someone else when you don't even love yourself, because you're still wondering what's wrong with you. Why do people hurt you? Why do people do things that you're still doubting yourself? And I've been there recently. Why I had to ask. Why I called my ex-husband and I asked my ex-boyfriend, what's wrong with me? Because I still didn't love myself. Because I still had that hurt in me. Because I was wondering, like, why could people hurt me? But when you realize that it's not them hurting you, it's a demonic spirit hurting you, not them. A lot of times it's not the person, it's what's in them that's hurting you. Okay, you do have some people that are just trifling. You do have some trifling people who are just trifling. That you just can't just say it was a demonic spirit. It's just some people that are born who are just trifling. Y'all might say I'm wrong for saying it, but you can sit here to yourself and think of somebody who just trifling. But the majority of the time, I try not to hold grudges on people, because you never know how they were when they were with you. I try not to hold those grudges. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, write that list if you haven't. Pray over that list if you haven't. And if you have prayed over the list, maybe you need to pray again. And then take that list, and I want you to burn it. I want you to chop it up, put it in a food processor. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know what you would have to do. Do something. So where you visually see all of that pain and that hurt leaving your life. Please. Because if you can visually see it, and while you're seeing it destroyed, you need to be saying, I'm free from all of this pain. I'm free from all of this hurt. I'm free from all of this destruction. I love myself. I know I'm a good person. I've messed up, but it's okay. God has forgiven me, and I can forgive myself. I can forgive those who hurt me. I want you to speak those things as you destroy these sheets. And it might be 4 or 5 sheets of paper. Mine was a lot. I can't even remember how many pages it was. But as you see it burn or chop up in the food processor, or as you tear it up or whatever, and you hear yourself saying those things, you see a lot of difference in your life. And you're saying, why should I do this? Okay, why not? Why not try? Why not start the process of healing? And then make an appointment to see a therapist. And I'm not saying go to your preacher and talk to Rick. No. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But if your preacher or your pastor is not I would say ordained counselor or person who went to school for it, no. There are some ministers who have gone to school for counseling and have gone to school to counsel people. There are some ministers who have, but if they haven't, I'm sorry, they do not honestly know how to help you. That is not their ministry. Everybody, just because they're a minister, does not mean their ministry is to heal you. That might not be their calling. And some people don't understand their calling. So that's the part of your discerning spirit. You need to ask God to send you to the right person. Do not just sit here and run to your pastor just because. And some of y'all ministers might be tripping because I said that, but get over yourselves, because it's not about you. Because I'm not going to sit here and help somebody if I know God has not ordained me to do that. So don't get mad because of what I said. It's the truth. Everybody calling is not in the same thing. So don't put yourself in a position to get destroyed by somebody who is in where there's to be. And every therapist is not meant for that problem. There are different therapists for different problems too. So once you recognize your problem, you need to talk to the therapist and let him know, so that if they can tell you whether they need to recommend you to another therapist or not. They're actually trained to do that by law. If they know they can't treat you because they're not trained in that area, they're going to send you to somebody else. So don't be afraid to do that. And a lot of insurances will pay for it. And if your insurance doesn't pay for it, ladies and gentlemen, you spend your money on a whole bunch of stuff. Unnecessary stuff. You don't need no shoes, you don't need no purse, you don't need no clothes, because your mind is the thing that you need to correct first. So, that's your homework. That is your homework. And I hope you do it. Because I don't want you to hurt anyone else. And I don't want to hurt you. So I've been working on me for a while now. And I don't want you to allow others to hurt you. So not only do you need to write the list, also pray for that discerning spirit so others can't hurt you and can't come close to you as they have been able to. You don't need everybody close to you. Everybody could be associates. Hey, how you doing? But everybody can't be your friend. It's a big difference. Big difference. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. Even if you don't love me, you ain't gotta love me, because there's a lot of love in me. Sometimes it's too much love. Well, I guess that's what he made me to be. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful week. And I'm praying for each and every one of you, even if I don't know who you are, even though I haven't met you. I want you to have a blessed life. Everybody deserves to be blessed. No matter what kind of mistakes you made, no matter how you've treated people, no matter what you've gone through, because nobody is perfect. And Jesus died for us, our sins, our lives, for to be redeemed. So don't keep yourself in a jail because you feel like what happened to you or what you've done to people is supposed to keep you hurting. No, it's not. Don't think because you're the black sheep of the family or whatever it might be that you're not good enough. You're not. You're the black sheep for a reason. Sometimes God set you apart for a reason. So that's why you need to communicate with him. Sometimes he set you apart. You're different from people in your family for a reason. That's how I was. It's different for a reason. All right. Once again, I love you guys. And I hope you have a great week and a great